Congratulations on Khufiya. अभी मैंने थोड़ी देर पहले ही देखी film. And for those who are watching this conversation, it's taking place about 15 days before the film drops on Netflix. It's based on Amar Bhushan's novel Escape to Nowhere. But actually, it's really not. That is really a launch pad, isn't it? You've taken that and taken the film somewhere else, isn't it?
Yeah, because that book is written, it's like a cold account of a surveillance operation. Huh. But the detailing of that is so good, which we don't get to see from like any security agency like IB or RNDW. So they are being very secretive about their thing. But this guy Amar Bhushan ji, he was the counter-espionage chief.
Right.
And now to embargo, now nobody can write anything from any security.
Really?
Yeah, you don't know. There's a government. This government passed a law 3 years or 4 years back, putting embargo on any government official.
Throughout your lifetime?
I think so.
Even if you fictionalize it?
If you take a pen name, you can.
Yeah. So that is how it will happen then, right? You know, because it's interesting. I think I first heard about this book in a column by Swapan Dasgupta in Times of India about 10 years ago. And what struck me about the book when I read it then, उतना ही memory है मुझे कि यार ये जो होंगे spy वाले ये जेम्स बॉन्ड नहीं है. You know, इनका ये basically they're bureaucrats कि अच्छा उसकी posting वहाँ हो गई, उसको better posting मिला. But I think what you've done is a leap of faith from that point, isn't it? When you take that leap of faith, Vishal, and you're talking about a world जो हम लोग कभी नहीं जानेंगे, आप तो कह रहे हैं कि अब तो कभी भी नहीं जानेंगे. Do you take the help of people who know that world better? Like, would you hang around with a few raw agents or raw officers to get this right? Keep vetting of that script at least?
Yeah, so at one point I was working on IC814 hijack, and I worked on that for at least 7 to 8 years.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I am not making that for Netflix. Anubhav is making. So I was making it for Amazon, but after Tandav they pulled the plug that they don't want to do anything political, though I don't think it was a political. The whole country was humiliated. It was nothing to do with any party. So, but they are so paranoid, there still is, that they didn't want to touch anything political. So in doing that research, I met Mr. Doval Saab के साथ मैंने काफ़ी time बिताया. Yeah, at that time, he was retired, he just retired. And then I met Dullat, Mr. Dullat.
Right.
He was ex-Raw Chief. Yeah. And then Mr. Sahai, he was also the Raw Chief. So a crack team, who went to negotiate with the militants in the Kandahar. So there were 3 people, Mr. Doval, Mr. Sahai, and Mr. Kaju. Okay. He was the foreign secretary. So in that, I had interacted a lot with them. They tell you what they want to tell you. What you ask them, they are not going to tell you. So and they make it look like that they are answering your question, but they are not. They want you to know their point of view of the incident, of anything. So when I read this book, I was very fascinated with the details of it, like the bureaucrats, like the bus comes from. For picking up all the R&A officers from their pickup point, they get in holding their lunch boxes and their briefcases, and they come and they are dropped.
Right. ये किस तरह के James Bond है?
So ये जब ये सुना, and then one more thing that they are not supposed to carry any weapon on them. They have to win the war with their intelligence. So these kind of, and then the detailing of that, the accountant holding the operation money or the money for the asset, that you prove it to me that you are going to give it to the asset, and how do you, and there one asset wanted a washing machine for his home, and the accountant is not sanctioning that money. Right. So he went and swiped his card, and so these kind of things, it's like like in my own office is happening.
Correct.
So that fascinated me, that world.
So tell me something, like because you're Vishal Bhardwaj and anybody who's a film buff would have at least seen one film of yours, whether it's a Mr. Doval or a Mr. Dulat or whoever else, Mr. Kaju. Does that make the access easy? Like when you call them up कि यार मैं कुछ बना रहा हूँ, they'll give you the time of the day कि चलो मैं आपको बता देता हूँ कि मुझे क्या लगता है.
Even then, they prefer to go through a person they trust.
Okay, so you have to go through someone who knows them really well.
Yeah, I went through a journalist friend, but post that I met Doval Saab on many times, doing his conversation on the runway somewhere under the, for wing of an aircraft and recognizing me. So he's a very fascinating man. He's a very fascinating man, and he's a storyteller. When you speak to him, he narrates it so well. So and Dullat Saab and Sahai Saab, I met all of them.
Like for instance in Talvar, right? Yeah. And Talvar is really almost an inside account of what happened in that particular double murder case in Noida. You clearly had someone who told you everything for you to be able to put that into a script. And would that be a CBI person in the case of?
Yeah, he was a friend. So
was a friend of yours, personal friend.
Yeah, I mean, he became friend, when, again, this IC 814 research took me to many people. He was one of them. He was the CBI officer who charged those who were caught later, who were working in tandem with those militants over there. So I met Mr. Arun Kumar in that, and he was the first investigating officer of the that Talvar murder case. Yeah, so he gave me that account, and like everybody else, I thought that his parents who have killed. But the account he gave me, made me think कि maybe I am not right, maybe. So, वहाँ से मेरा रास्ता खुला. I went and met parents also in the jail. So of course, being a celebrity, you get
that access. That is what celebrity means.
You get access.
Yeah. Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.